ET is taking a look back at iconic red carpet moments that changed the game.
My egg rental, that wasn't available.
And how these moments changed red carpet style forever.
It's like putting on that dress and putting on them pumps made me feel the most powerful and the most masculine that I've ever felt.
I'm Denny Directo, and joining me for this fashion rewind is our panel of style experts. Celebrity stylist, CEO, and style expert, Rachel Zoe.
There are a few moments in my career where I was actually brought to tears.
Comedian Jessie Woo.
Angelina showed up to that red carpet and said, honey, KFC and Popeyes ain't the only places y'all can get a thigh, honey.
And ET style senior producer, our very own Marisa Runyon.
She made red carpet fashion into something way more than just showing up and looking pretty.
We're laughing, we're crying, we are tripping over her Oscar style years later. I'm talking, of course, about Jennifer Lawrence, the girl we all love for being so relatable and always herself. Who could forget her in this Christian Dior haute couture at the 2013 Oscars, where she, of course, famously tripped up the stairs going to receive her Oscar for Best Actress for Silver Linings Playbook. I mean, first of all, Rachel, you actually styled this stunning look. What was going through your mind when this happened?
You know, there are a few moments in my career where I was actually brought to tears, honestly. Putting this look together with her was by far and away a highlight of my very long styling career. But I think, the greatest thing for me and the greatest reward for a stylist, in my opinion, is when your client looks in the mirror right before they leave and they feel it. They know they look extraordinary. And when that happens, when that magic moment happens, it's just, that's everything. And when she went and she just looked like this, all I kept thinking about was like a young Grace Kelly. Like, I just lost my mind with her. And when she fell, honestly, it's weird. It didn't even faze me. She looked so beautiful when she fell. And once we all knew she was okay, it was sort of like, it was the most elegant fall I ever saw in my entire life.
It's the way she fell. It was like a dove falling out of the sky so softly. And, it was like, listen, if I'm going to fall, it better be on my way to collect the Oscar, honey. Who else? I else want to fall.
And in a dress like that.
It's true.
And can we talk about that diamond necklace going down her back? I mean, that accent, Rachel, that you put there, it's like this fall was meant to happen just to feature the necklace.
It's also just so relatable. Obviously, she was nominated for just about every award for her performance in Silver Linings Playbook that year. Rachel, when you have a client that's nominated for multiple awards in one year, how do you even begin to plan out all those looks? Because I feel like you guys really knew what she should wear for the Oscars. But how did you plan out the rest of the red carpets?
It's really hard because, you can plan as much as you can plan, right? But ultimately, as we all know, as human beings, you plan what you're going to wear, but how many times do you change your mind, right? Just before. I know I do. And so as a stylist, I have to have many options for each thing. But I will say, when you're going through an award season, and I've done many of them with several clients over the years, you really want to create sort of a buildup, So there is a buildup thought in my mind as a stylist, for sure.
Well, y'all crushed that. I mean, executed beautifully, and we're still talking about it today. But switching gears to another queen of the red carpet and really the master of the poker face, someone who keeps us on our toes when it comes to red carpet fashion. Any guesses? Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. Let's take it back to the 2010 Grammys when she rocked this Armani Privé. It was the night that she actually won her first 2 Grammy Awards. I want you guys to take a look. And then, Jessie, let me know what feeling this look evokes in you, because, Gaga does it up. She really balances that line between couture and costume. What did you make of this look, Jessie?
This gives me, I am not one of y'all, okay? I'm not even human, baby. Look, it's giving me Mars, Venus, Saturn. It's giving me from outer space. That's what it's giving me. I came from another planet to collect my awards. Thank you very much. Look at me. Yes. How you doing? That's what it's giving me.
What I love about it too is that this is one of her first times at the Grammys. I mean, this is a debut, especially for Lady Gaga. Marisa, how do you think Gaga's look kind of changed the way we think about fashion in general on a red carpet?
I mean, really, she's the ultimate game changer for me. she made red carpet fashion into something way more than just showing up and looking pretty. She shows up and she says, this is who I am. My art extends beyond my albums, beyond my music videos. I am my art everywhere I go. And I mean, I'm clearly a Lady Gaga fan. I've been a Lady Gaga fan since the very beginning. And this is why.
Yes,
like, you cannot look away from her. She makes everything she does interesting.
Yeah.
You know, Rachel, I'm curious to know, is there a line between couture and costume, and is it meant to cross over? Is it a rule that's meant to be broken?
You know, it's a really good question. And I think, listen, there's very conflicting opinions, right? Because fashion is the greatest form of expression. It really is. I mean, it's how you say who you are without speaking. You walk in and before you open your mouth, this is what people are looking at. This is what they're thinking about. And I think the thing about Gaga, the same way Madonna or Cher, I think there are these game changers on the carpet who walk in, as Marisa said, they're artists first, okay? And so fashion is an extension of their art and creativity and expression. And I think the thing about Gaga to note is how she has, you know, I think she's really evolved in the sense of kind of having these sort of moments to kind of coming on now in ball gowns and Brandon Maxwell and Versace and Armani Privé and all of these incredible moments where she comes in and says, okay, now I want to be an old Hollywood movie star. Now I want to be a lady. Now I want people, you know. So I think it's super interesting as an artist. And I think very often you see this most at the Grammys, where they take risks and they come out and say, I don't care if you like this or not. This is what I'm feeling and this is who I am right now.
I'm just being myself, and I'm glad that you like it. Thank you.
Well, this next red carpet Maven's right leg was arguably more famous than her during the 2012 Oscars, Miss Angelina Jolie. Let's remind you guys of the look. It's Atelier Versace. She became a meme this night at the Oscars for this stunning look. But Marisa, obviously, over the years, we have seen Angelina in many, many black dresses. It's her go-to color. But what set this moment apart?
Oh my gosh. Well, the leg obviously sets it apart, but you know what it is for me is that she's an example of how a woman wears a dress, the dress doesn't wear the woman. This, for all intents and purposes, is a classic black ball gown. And the thing that sets it apart is that she is wearing it and that she is wearing it and moving and standing and owning it the way that she is. And it became a meme because, not because people were making fun of her. I think that was something that was really misconstrued. People thought that they were roasting her because of the leg. No, I think it's because we're all so jealous that she looks so badass and is owning this moment so hardcore in this dress. I mean, to this day, this is what, 9 years ago? Still such a solid, enviable red carpet moment.
Rachel, what did you think of this moment?
She's so captivating to me. I think, and what I do love about her, to Marissa's point, Angelina, the thing with her, I don't think I've ever seen her wear a dress that overpowers her. It's like she really picks things that she feels complement who she is, and never overpower her. She's always about a simple black dress, or always about something that's really just sort of very classic, you know? And I think here, this was actually kind of a lot for her, you know, in terms of it being asymmetrical, it being corseted, it being a ball gown. You know, we haven't seen her in a lot of ball gowns. But what's so amazing about her is, okay, so there's her tattoos and she's got this classic old Hollywood hair and makeup. And then there's that leg, and a beautiful leg, by the way. But I think what she wanted to say with that is like, I know I seem really covered up, but guess what? I'm not. When you have a slit, it's funny. You don't always get the credit for it. You can't see it. And unless you're walking, you don't see the leg or you don't see the slit. And I think what she was saying is like, there's a slit. I'm going to give you something besides a black dress right now. And this is how I'm doing it. And I think she was just feeling herself in it, honestly.
You could tell. You could even tell when she was presenting her award that night with that right leg. You could feel the energy in the audience, be like, "Oh, Angelina and her leg are here." In fact, before the end of the telecast, there was a Twitter handle. I don't know if you guys remember this. It was dedicated to the look with like 14,000 followers. It was called Angie's Right Leg. The account's suspended now, but Jessie, doesn't that make it? Yeah, we tried to find it. It does not exist anymore. But don't you feel like that? It makes it so much fun for the audience to watch something as so far away as the Oscars red carpet, but to feel, I don't know, like part of the fun.
Of course.
Totally.
Listen, Angelina showed up to that red carpet and said, honey, KFC and Popeyes ain't the only places y'all can get a thigh, honey. Y'all gonna eat
That's
this
right.
thigh tonight.
And we're hungry for more.
Okay.
I love
It's
her. Honestly.
It's like y'all are gonna eat me this evening. And then, like you said, Twitter went in shambles. A whole page was dedicated to her thigh meat. You know, her thigh meat went trending. Like, it was all about her thigh. And I love it because Angelina, she always keeps it simple. But that evening, I was like, you know, keep it simple, but here go a little bit of thigh. And it just sent everybody into a frenzy.
We almost forgot that Angelina was there with Brad Pitt because of that look.
Nobody cared about Brad. We were just worried about that thigh
I
meat.
might care about Brad.
Oh, you did?
Me too.
Well, I didn't. I was all about Angelina, her thigh meat, her red lipstick. She just looked ravishing. Like, oh my gosh.
They both do.
They-
You know, someone else who gives us plenty to talk about once they step onto a red carpet, and that is Billy Porter. In 2019 at the Oscars, he rocked this custom Christian Siriano tuxedo gown. It was such a moment, and he really changed the game, I feel like, transforming men's red carpet style. You know, Marisa, how has Billy kind of changed the game for what we expect guys to rock on a red carpet?
You know, this was the Oscars. I mean, this was like the biggest red stage there is. And the fact that he showed up in this gown and owned it and looked so stunning in it, you know, people really stopped and looked. And I think they stopped and looked for all the right reasons. They weren't looking and saying, oh my God, why is that man wearing a dress? They were saying, wow, why does that man look so amazing in this dress right now? He was stunning. He really owned the look, and I think this opens up the door for so much more on the red carpet. The red carpet is the place where we see trends begin, things shift, cultural norms shift, you know, people really seeing all different things through fashion. And this opened the door for people like, you know, Timothée Chalamet and Harry Styles, Jonathan Van Ness. So many men are wearing more feminine looks on the carpet, not just dresses, but earrings and jewelry and high heels and just really beautiful clothing. And I think that's the thing that really changed. It's not just about wearing a suit because you're a man. It's wearing something amazing because you're at the Oscars.
Just a man in a dress. It's just a man in a dress, y'all.
Rachel, do you feel like this maybe even added more pressure for Billy over the years to outdo himself every time he kind of steps onto a red carpet?
Yeah, it's a hard thing. It's sort of like once you set that bar that high, you have to keep showing up. You know, it's a little like Gaga, right? It's like if you start off a certain way, there's an expectation, like, what are they coming in next? What are they coming in next? And I think Billy Porter, like, listen, for me, I have lived through so many red carpets, and the truth is that so often there's such a letdown of like how boring and how people are so scared to go outside of the safe box, right? And I think when people like Lady Gaga or Billy Porter in this case, like when they come on and do this, it's like, yes, thank you. And also thank you to like so many people out there way beyond the red carpet to say like, it is so okay to express yourself however you feel, wherever you go, you have to own it. And I think part of what made this magical is how much he owned it. He didn't, it's unapologetic. It's like he didn't even think about the fact that he was different and walking in a ball gown as a man. It was sort of like, this is incredible. And he just broke down walls for so many other people. Like, it's so freeing.
Right, and we have never seen anything like it, I think, on the Oscars red carpet. Certainly not from a man. So, Jessie, when Billy Porter shows up on this red carpet at the 2019 Oscars in this huge ball gown that's taking over half the red carpet, your reaction is?
Oh my God. You know, it's just like Billy Porter being a Black gay man and being on the Oscars red carpet after so many years of acting and finally having that moment to be there. And for him to have that Cinderella moment, for me, it was a Cinderella moment.
I've been in the business for 30 years. You know, there was a period of time when I first started where, you know, there was a homophobic silencing of every instinct that I had as a human being on this planet. And I'm reclaiming my time.
Baby.
Someone else who did that, though, is an actress who proved that powder blue isn't just for fairy tale princesses. Lupita Nyong'o made a splash in custom Prada at the 2014 Oscars. Taking a risk, I think. Jessie, I'll kick it to you first. Lupita was a red carpet darling that year, having been nominated for just about every award leading up to the Oscars, which, by the way, she won. She won her Oscar that night. But how would you say this fashion moment defined what we've come to expect or maybe not expect from Lupita?
But I remember seeing her and thinking, my gosh, she's your queen to be. Like, I was so proud. Like, oh my God, my good sis. Look at my good sis. Just looking so phenomenal. Her skin was moisturized. Her lips was shiny. She looked like the belle of the ball. Like, my God.
Rachel, I'm curious what your thoughts were on the whole ensemble, head to toe. What did you think of the styling of this Prada?
Honestly, this was absolute perfection. And I have to say that entire season, she was perfection. But I remember this moment, and I have to tell you, I was not expecting this look. I don't think anybody was. And I think that's what made it so extraordinary. It was sort of like, she's so badass. She's so amazing. And like, she came out with that smile and that flawless skin, just so fresh and dewy, and like this absolute angel princess. And with the headband tiara, I like to think of it as a tiara because I just dream to wear tiaras at all times. I mean, this is just heaven. This is just classy, elegant. She cascaded on that carpet. Like, I mean, look at her. She's like a ray of sunshine. I just can't love this more, honestly.
While this gown and maybe the color was unexpected, Marisa, I know there was a special significance behind this choice.
Lupita worked with celebrity stylist Michaela Erlinger on this look, so I reached out to her to find out what exactly makes it truly special. Take a listen.
So the color of Lupita's dress is famously coined Nairobi blue. It was such a beautiful pale shaded blue, and we knew that in designing her Oscars dress and it being her first Oscars, we wanted to include, some personal touches. So that was sort of an homage to her hometown, her home country. This is one of my all-time favorite looks and holds such a special place for me as a stylist. This was a look that we actually worked on for months leading up to the Oscars. And we started designing it, I want to say, back in September or October, with the awards happening around February or March timing. So it was something that had been in the works for quite some time, and to see it come to fruition on Oscars night was something I'll never forget.
And I thought that was such a special moment, especially because that's when she's winning her Oscar, to tie it all back to her whole life, her childhood, her family. It made it so much more special. And it wasn't just a pretty dress. It was a pretty dress that really meant something to her on a deeper level.
We were inspired by champagne bubbles. We wanted something, celebratory in this gentle blue. And blue reminds me of my hometown, Nairobi.
Well, next up, this singer's reputation on the red carpet has been flirty, fearless, and folklore fun. Say that 10 times fast. Taylor Swift in Atelier Versace at the 2016 Grammy Awards. This was quite a departure for Taylor from what we've seen, and I feel like Taylor's fashion kind of has evolved just like her music. Plus, Jessie, we know that Taylor Swift is the queen of hidden messages and Easter eggs. What do you think she was trying to say with this look at the Grammys in 2016?
She was trying to say, listen, I'm grown now. After I leave the Grammys, I'm going down to the bar, honey. Okay, this is a multifunctional outfit.
It's the bob for me, this haircut.
The bob. Yes, a mean bob, too. Because we're so used to having her do the curly, big hair. So she's like, listen, I'm going to go for a little bob. I'm going to put on some... I love red lipstick on red carpet. I don't know why, but I have a thing for red lipsticks on red carpets, and she did that, and it was so bold.
Marisa, did you feel like this kind of signaled that transition to pop music?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what we were talking about. These artists know what they're doing. She's like, I'm going to change my musical image, so I'm going to change my actual image. She ditched all the things we knew about her musically, and then she did the same thing with her personal style. That changed the hair completely. She absolutely looks like a grown-up. She started hanging out with different people. She was dating Calvin Harris at the time. Like, she changed up everything when she changed her music. When her album 1989, that's what she was nominated for here at the Grammys. that really changed everything for her. Now, I'll agree with you, Jessie. I do love a red lip on the carpet, and I love that that is a signature of hers that she kept as a through line.
Rachel, what do you think of the red lip motif?
I do think the one thing we know about Taylor Swift is she really is always sending a message. And whenever she shows up, there's a message, right? And whether we ever learn it or not, but I think here she looked absolutely stunning. It was very powerful though. Like, I just feel like everything about it, her makeup, her bob, it's very severe. You know, it's very severe for her. I loved it. Loved it.
Now I just be myself more. Yeah. It's just, and I have fun with it.
Well, another red carpet hustler whose glow will go down in history has become a true fashion icon over the years, Jennifer Lopez. Now, it would be an obvious choice to go with that Versace from the Grammys, but we wanted to go with something a little more unexpected from J.Lo, and it's this Jean-Baptiste Valli from the 2016 Golden Globes. Let's start with Marisa. What surprised you about this choice from J.Lo this year? That year?
You know, I'm a diehard J.Lo fan, and I always have been. And I stopped what I was doing, and I was so like enthralled in this choice. The color was unexpected for her, the lip, like the fact that she wasn't showing off a ton of skin, but it was still such a J.Lo look. And that's the thing, we all know J.Lo's style. Like, we could recognize it from a mile away. We could see her from the back and know it's J.Lo. But you have to create that set of rules for yourself in order to break them like this and have it make such an amazing impact, but still feel like you. I think that was the thing that was most surprising, that it wasn't a J.Lo look, but in every way it still kind of was. It's just inexplicable, but the color is so perfect, the way it fits her, just, I'm like, overwhelmed by how beautiful the jewels are on this. It's just probably one of my favorite looks of all time, if you couldn't tell.
Wake up, kick ass, repeat, wake up, kick ass, every day.
I think here with J.Lo, look, Jean-Baptiste Valli is a friend of mine for 20 years. He's a master. Jennifer Lopez, I am such a diehard. She can do no wrong. I don't understand. She doesn't get older. She just gets better. I can't figure it out. She is magically perfect in this. I would have styled her just in that. Like, there's nothing I would change about this. It is just perfection. The color on her skin, the makeup is do you know how hard it is to get that makeup and hair right with that kind of dress? It's challenging, trust me. And it's the perfect lip with the glistening eye, with the dewy skin. Her hair, when you have a capelet like that, like over the shoulders, your hair cannot be like down and in front and taking away. And it just perfect. And Robin Muriel, her stylist, who I adore, they just really, this was just perfection. Oh my God, I will never forget it. It was magical.
I would like to cut to the 2020 Golden Globes because Jennifer Lopez wore a Valentino gown that was not universally liked, to say the least. And so I'm curious, Jessie, you know, were you on board for this look? And do you feel like J.Lo, as you guys put it, can do no wrong?
Because I don't know, I like J.Lo when, my favorite J.Lo on the red carpet is when she is showing skin. I'm sorry. Like, I like seeing the skin. I like seeing her back. I like seeing her arms. J.Lo is well known for her body. She works hard on it. She still looks so youthful. I mean, she doesn't look a day over 35. So I like to see her more exposed, but I get it. I get it for those type of events. Like, you do have to be more sophisticated, so I can appreciate that.
All right, it's time for a quick shameless plug. Rachel, please take a moment to plug and promote whatever project you'd like to.
I just launched my most recent curation of Curator, and I did just launch my own fragrance, which I'm very excited about. There's 4 amazing scents that you can choose from. And that's available on shoprachelzoe.com and lots more. Oh, and also I have a podcast coming out called Works for Us that I'm doing with my husband, Roger. And that's been incredibly fun.
I cannot
Booked and
wait.
busy. I love it. Jessie Woo, plug away.
I have a podcast called Brownies in the City. It's based around me and my 2 friends, Brianna and Diamond. We're new to Atlanta. So you can literally listen to us or watch us on YouTube as we take on the city, and be safe, of course. But Brownies in the City, keep a lookout for it.
Love it. Marisa, you too, plug ET Style for us.
You know it. ET Style is where you can find all of the best and most current shopping deals and everything that's happening in Hollywood. If someone's wearing it, we're going to tell you what it is and how you can find it and how you can buy it and how you can wear it and get the look. There's so much there. ETonline/style.
There you have it. Our thanks to Rachel Zoe, Jessie Woo, and of course Marisa Runyon. It was fun to talk fashion with y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
He's the best.
Thank you.